Evangelist Ralph Reed, a political juggernaut in 2004, mobilized Protestants in that year's presidential elections. He managed to get the religious right to go and vote in record numbers, thus propelling George W. Bush to a second term in office. Then the Jack Abramoff scandal came to light. Reed had been involved in efforts to influence Alabama legislators to rule against a rival of their client, an Indian gambling casino operator. But that was then. Today, Reed has aligned himself with Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney and has a plan to once again mobilize Protestant voters. But this time, he aims to get a Mormon elected. In 2009, Reed formed the Faith and Freedom Coalition, which uses target marketing techniques pioneered by the Obama team in 2007. Using 171 data points to isolate Protestant voters likely to vote Republican, he's targeting this particular group in an effort to get them excited about going to the polls on Election Day. By overlapping such specific factors as megachurch membership, downloads of books by such GOP luminaries as Sarah Palin, and whether or not the voter owns a pickup truck, Reed's group claims responsibility for having raised evangelical turnout in the 2009 Virginia governor's race by 6 points over the previous election. Convicted of hate crimes for their involvement in the forced beard and hair-cutting home invasions of a neighboring Amish group's members, 9 of the 16 persons who have been found guilty are requesting that their bail be continued and that they be allowed to remain free until their sentencing in January. The group includes 2 married couples who argue that imprisonment now in the harvest season would put undue stress on their children, who rely on them for income and food canning. If the U.S. District Court judge hearing their appeals decides against them, as many as 50 children could be left with one or both parents behind bars for several years. Arguing that they do not represent a flight risk, their lawyer has asked the judge to ignore the prosecution's assertion that the federal judge has limited discretion in this matter because the individuals have been duly convicted of crimes requiring a mandatory sentence. Reports that the Democratic Party platform neglected to include a declaration recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel was bad news for Democrats. Making no mention of God in its 2012 policy statement did not help either. Republicans immediately hit on the mistakes and attempted to use the omissions and the subsequent kangaroo vote by Democrats, reinserting them to court religious fence-sitters. "I will not take God off our coins, and I will not take God out of my heart," Mitt Romney told a crowd of supporters in Virginia Beach. The following week at the Value Voters Summit in Washington, D.C., a pre-recorded video of the candidate displayed Romney continuing to claim the sanctimony high ground, vowing that in his administration he would uphold the sanctity of life, defend marriage, not try to redefine it, and preserve the American spirit of one nation under God. He then noted several issues with the economy as he assured the conservatives that we can turn things around, but he had no specifics to offer other than faith and prayer. Pilgrimage is an ancient and venerated religious experience for people all over the world, from St. Helens trips to the Holy Land to acquire relics, to the Hindu Kumbh Mela at Prayag at the Indian city of Allahabad, to the once-in-a-lifetime Hajj visit to Mecca required of all able-bodied Muslims. Pilgrimages represent a visible form of devotion. It also represents a financial boom to local economies of the destination communities. Devotional visits are the lifeblood for tour operators, shrine administrators, souvenir sellers, and hostels. According to Manchester University professor Ian Reader, the roots of tourism are in pilgrimage. The author of Pilgrimage in the Marketplace told CNBC that the first package tours in Europe were tours to the Christian Holy Land, organized in medieval times by Venetian merchants who controlled the Mediterranean. Entire economies in places such as Lourdes and the Vatican rely almost exclusively on catering to pilgrims. Accounting for at least $8 billion a year in revenues, in 2007 the United Nations World Travel Organization called religious travel the fastest growing part of the travel business.
Atheist Roundtable, a gathering place for rational people.
Funny pictures and videos.
Profound atheist quotes.
The religious going crazy.
The latest news.
World domination.
Casual discussions.
Baby eating.
The ultimate forum for a lively dialogue. Come join the fun at atheistroundtable.com.